Hey, what's up guys? Phoenix here. This video is going to be another Yu-Gi-Oh! Card review / discussion type video on another new card spoiled for release in Raging Tempest, the set that we should be getting around the February to March 2017 time frame. It's the set that comes out after our Invasion Vengeance set and comes out after the OCG's Invasion of Venom set. They should be getting the set in about a month's time frame or within a month, somewhere around there. But the new card spoiled for release is a new piece of Blackluster Soldier ritual support. That is a new ritual spell that's actually pretty interesting in terms of what it allows the deck to potentially do, especially since rituals in its a whole have gained a little bit more support since the last time anyone really looked at the Blackluster Soldier deck since it was released back in Dimension of Chaos. But this card in question today is Super Soldier Origin. As I've already said, it's a new ritual spell card, and it has some pretty interesting effects. This card can only be used to ritual summon any Blackluster Soldier ritual monster, so it can summon Super Soldier or regular BLS. You can only activate Super Soldier Origin once per turn. Send monsters from the following locations whose levels equal exactly 8, then ritual summon one Blackluster Soldier ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. So you can summon them from graveyard with this card, so that's already very interesting. You can summon it from hand or graveyard, thus meaning you could absolutely just use a draw engine like Trade-In to further facilitate the deck's capacities as an engine. But what you use for the ritual mechanic, for the ritual tribute, is you can either use a light monster from your hand and a dark monster from your deck, or a dark monster from your hand and a light monster from your deck. So regardless, you are capable of using at least one light or dark monster from your deck as the ritual tribute for your Blackluster Soldier. Now this is very, very good in terms of its implications for the BLS deck, because of the fact that one of the biggest benefits of this deck is using both Beginning Night and Evening Twilight Night as your BLS tributes, because both of them are 4, they're easily accessible in some form and function, but they become easily a lot more accessible off of this card because you only need to have one of them, and that can either be hard drawn, it can be I don't know, summoned out of the deck off Summoner Monk, something like that. There's multiple options that allow you access into these cards. Rhoda, because they're both warriors. There's a few different interactions that happen to allow you to get to those cards. But ultimately, what this card allows is this allows you to summon BLS from graveyard, which ultimately makes it a Necro Cycle type card, which already makes it very, very good. But then you're also capable of using at least one of your tributes from deck and one from hand. So you can essentially use both Beginning Night and Evening Twilight Night for the same BLS summon rather efficiently when you throw this card into the mix. Now, that is the most optimal situation you want to be in, because then it gives both of those effects to the BLS. They don't have to be tributed from hand or anywhere specific for them to give their extra gained effects to BLS. They just have to be used in the ritual summon of a Blackluster Soldier ritual monster. So they will both be applying its effects to that BLS that you summon, allowing it to banish cards from the field, allowing it to take a card out of your opponent's hand, allowing it to attack twice. Those effects are, capable of being stacked upon that BLS ritual monster now, as well as the fact that the BLS ritual monster could have been summoned from the graveyard, thus fueling more card economy. With a deck that can't really use pre-preparation of rights, this is a very, very solid addition to the deck, especially since the last time BLS was even looked at seriously when Dimension of Chaos came out, we didn't have cards like Ritual Sanctuary. The only thing we really had in terms of an engine to allow the deck to function was the Gateway to Chaos field spell card alongside Chicken Games as a draw engine. Now, unfortunately, Chicken Game is banned, but now we do actually have access to a rather decent field spell engine again, because Gateway to Chaos is much like Union Hanger in that when you activate it, you get to add a BLS card from your deck to your hand, a Blackluster Soldier ritual monster, rather. Or a Gaia, if you want to do that. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be adding a Blackluster Soldier ritual monster. And then its other effect is, each time a card is sent from hand or field to graveyard, you can put a counter on it, and then you can remove 3 counters to add a ritual spell. That is ultimately way too slow. But what we do have access into now is we have access to a new field spell, Ritual Sanctuary. And Ritual Sanctuary allows you easier access into ritual spell cards. It can't search BLS because BLS is not a light fairy, but it does allow better access into ritual spells like Super Soldier Ritual and Super Soldier Origin. Super Soldier Origin is arguably a little bit better than Super Soldier Ritual, although Super Soldier Ritual does trigger your guys' effects in graveyard, so I could easily see a nice mix of both. But the fact that Trade-In is now an actual playable card because we have a ritual spell that operates like Necro Cycle, it brings the BLS back from graveyard. There's multiple different applications and ways the deck can shift its focus to implement this new card into it, and I'm actually really curious to see how it goes. Now, do I think BLS is going to be relevant at all? No. I think at highest the deck might be tier 3. Like, it's definitely a deck that has way too many inherent problems to become something really top tier. However, the fact that this is just something you can utilize, very cool. Now, let me know what you guys think about this card in the comments down below, and how well you think it's going to affect the Blackluster Soldier deck in general. But other than that, as always, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the nonsense you usually do. Links are in the description below me to my Facebook, Twitch, and background music playlists. If you want to use those, they are there for you to use as a resource. That is why I put them in every video. Other than that, if you like this video and you like the content I produce and you want to see more of it, give this video a thumbs up. It shows great support for the channel and encourages me to keep making more content. And if you know some people that might also like my content, I encourage you to share my videos around to them and maybe encourage them to subscribe as well. Helping grow the subscriber base and viewership base of this channel is another fantastic way to show your support. But other than that, like I've already said multiple times, let me know what you guys think about Super Soldier Origin. I really like how this card is designed. Whether or not the deck it goes in will be any good upon release is yet to be seen, and will probably not be seen. But a guy can dream, can he not? But other than that, thank you for your time, as I've already said, as per usual. And as always, guys, take care.